I love to smoke a lot, never see me now. High up in the sky I go, call up everyone I know and ask them who got it, let's roll up. 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 I love to smoke a lot, never see me now. High up in the sky I go, call up everyone I know and ask them who got it, let's roll up.
Welcome back, Jack! Where is the rest of my team?
Doing some bullshit. Okay, and I'm gonna tell y'all exactly where the rest of the team is at. The nigga Cheese just came through with some shit called ice cream. So niggas trying to roll the ice cream. You see what I'm saying?
What's that?
Niggas trying to roll.
My team over here got getting the ice cream on.
So look, I don't have the whole specs on the ice cream, but the shit looks wonderful. Can you zoom in on that, Coach Easy? I don't have the shit looks great. I'm gonna roll it and smoke it and see if it tastes just as great. Shouts out to Lou Cheesy for coming through every week.
Always.
See, I figured it out. See, when I come with the strand of the week, Lou Cheesy gotta outdo. See, that's that Leo shit. See what I'm saying?
Lou Cheesy come through because usually you the only one smoke that strand, so he give us a strand that everybody can smoke. That's all.
I don't think that's what it is.
That's what happened.
I think it's because Lou Cheesy is a Leo and it's in his competitive nature. You see what I'm saying? To where when he see another nigga, he like, oh no, nigga, I got ice cream.
Daddy, I gotta outdo your shit.
That is. Charles said that is. You try to see like the dog get a big cup.
Oh yeah. Hey, niggas requesting your presence. They need it bad out there. They need it
Hey,
bad.
matter of fact, where the nigga at the bar who trying to
Oh no, he didn't do that. He wasn't trying to do that.
I mean, no.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to do. He just trying to holler.
Hey, look, as I told y'all, we got a great motherfucking show coming for y'all tonight because that's what we do. You know what I mean? And this next guest, man, he burst onto the scene, and I'm sure a lot of these little babies that's running around nowadays, some of them was made because of this, not because of them, but he was a goddamn vessel.
Definitely ushered him in.
A conduit or a goddamn all that shit.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
right.
So I want to welcome him to Smoking and Joking,
Mr.
Jay Holiday!
I put you in the bag.
I'm sleepless for you. Turn the blind eye. This time, I hope this makes it easy, girl. I know this shit will put you through. It's easy, but this time, I'm telling you, I like to just wanna be, and I like to let's go.
Jay Holiday in the motherfucking building. Listen, man, once again, it is an honor, it is a pleasure, it is a privilege to have you. Welcome to Smoking and Joking, good brother.
Appreciate it, man.
We're gonna start this out now.
Started all right.
Now,
No. Can I say something real quick?
Absolutely.
Y'all ain't asked me for my picks.
Okay, yeah.
My picks.
Yeah, get your pick.
Now, first of all,
Here we go, Jay.
What's your pick?
fuck the Cowboys.
No, that's why I didn't ask you
I'm a Redskins fan. Before the bowl, they said, oh, yeah, see, y'all know, Alex Smith got hurt. They was like, oh, okay. Saints and the Chiefs.
Oh, come on.
Saints and the Chiefs.
Saints and the
Okay,
Chiefs.
you put out where I picked the
I
Chiefs.
believe the Chiefs because of their defense, that's all.
See, we knew that was going to go there, right? It ain't about the defense.
It is about the defense.
Saints and the Chiefs.
Saints and the Chiefs. I chose the Chiefs, Holiday. Look.
Oh, I can still do it, right?
Hey, listen, I want to say this, you know, like I said, welcome to Smoking and Joking. I got to start this thing out right. I already told you the strain of the week was called, Taylor, what's the strain of the week?
Guava, man.
Guava. So, the strain of the week is guava. Now, I got a guava blunt roll for you. Backwood. But, Lou Cheese just came with the ice cream. So it's really on you whether you want the ice cream or if you want the backwood with the goddamn guava.
I mean, you know, they say guava, you know, they say that guava plant.
Here's the guava for you. So Jay, man, I just want to jump right into it, man. You burst on the scene 2007, late 2006, 2007.
Yes, sir.
Incredible single, Bed. Now I will tell you.
Oh, first, eh?
I gotta start with Bed.
That's right.
Because there was a time when I remember I was with a certain person, and man, we put Bed on repeat, bro. I got 6 kids.
You got one of them babies.
I got kids, bro. You know, niggas usually make a playlist. But Bed was one of them kind of records where you could just put that shit on repeat. So
to this day.
Right, to this day. So I wanna start with Bed and ask you, how did that record come about?
Honestly, man, we was on the road for about a year with Be With Me, man. Be With Me was the first record I came with Dark Child. And then after that, we was like, yo, they not feeling the real R&B. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, for what we considered real R&B. So we was like, let's hit them with something else. So we hit them with Bed. And Dream wrote the record, and we just...
Shout out to Dream.
Yeah, shout out to Dream.
Oh, Dream, okay.
Yeah, and it came about because nobody else could do the record at the time.
There you go.
That's just what it was.
So, baby, I mean, to me,
the stars wasn't.
To me, if somebody comes up here and says, you know, it started because nobody else could do the record, that's a big statement. Now, does that mean you throwing your hand in the ring for the king of R&B? Or
boy, here go the conversation. Here go the conversation.
You know, I'm trying to figure it out.
I mean, that was my name.
Now, first of all, I'm a king in life. I'm a king in life.
All right.
That's first and foremost.
All right.
So you should feel like a king.
That's right.
Of life. But when you start saying you the king of this, you the king of that, then you should understand what the stats are.
Okay.
Understand what your genre is.
Right.
Understand what your validation is.
Okay.
You can't be the king off of other people's lyrics.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Wow.
I'm gonna leave it there.
Wow.
That was something called, everybody know that right now, that's all that's trending, that's all that's on the Twitter.
Remake shit.
A young man came out.
Remake Bad did.
I'm the king of R&B of this
Remake
generation. And so we just want to hear from some, cause we got a little wheel up here too. Who can do a little R&B from time to time?
And the man goddamn disrespect, he sweat. He tell you so.
He didn't disrespect. You know what I'm saying?
We go to the right here.
Hey, Jay Holiday, listen. Jay Holiday just tried to pass me the blunt.
It's a backward, man.
We go to the face up here. Ain't no passing.
Hold on a minute.
Yeah, that's yours.
Yeah, that's you. We go to the face up here.
Yeah.
And listen, and I want to say this, Jay, because like you're on the border. And when I say that,
I came on the cusp.
Hold on, listen. Yeah, on the cusp.
On the
because
cusp of that
it
shit.
kind of switched over, but you're still like the part of the real, what I consider real R&B, timeless R&B.
Thank you.
Where I can play this record 20 years, I can play Bed 20 years from now, and I got a rocker, and I'm goddamn, and I'm holding on to the rocker, and I'm trying to pull the bed.
There you go.
You see what I'm saying? But on some real shit, like your music is considered like a part of the real R&B. How do you look at the new generation of R&B?
Oh man, the new generation is cool, man. Now, this is never a disrespect to the music, man. Good records are good records. You know what I'm saying? Like, good music is good music. It is what it is, but the reason why I made the joke of 4 and 5 is right here is who's ever gonna put themselves at 4 and 5?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not putting myself at number 1.
All right.
The little boy, go pop your pimple, and don't put yourself at number 1.
That's right.
Period, point blank.
Did you just call him a little boy?
Little boy? He was in middle school when Bad came out. Let's be real about it. Little boy?
Little boy. Well, I gotta ask you this, and only because you see
Bad came out 10 years ago. He's 22, correct?
correct 12.
Okay.
And I gotta say this because Duke is sitting next to you. If you don't know, we call this guy next to you Conspiracy Duke, okay? And that's because he puts together
We all
these
Sagittarius.
theories. Right, everybody's sitting up here.
That's why.
So I gotta ask you this.
We know it all.
Conspiracies are all conspiracies, but 20 years later, they always found out to be true.
Yeah, you're right.
It's all true.
Right. Well, I want to say
I
this.
always thought I was conspiracy.
I want to say this because, like, you came out the gate, like I said, with Bed and with the album and what was the album? Cadillac. I mean, what was the album?
Back of My Lack.
Back of My Lack. Back of My Lack. Yeah, Back of My Lack.
One of the
Back of My
best.
Lack. I know it was Lack.
So that's that.
I know it was Lack, but Back of My Lack. But I'm saying, like, with the steam that you had, you know what I mean. You went right there to platinum, you know, and.
I broke a Michael Jackson record.
And then, you know, you came with the second album. And okay, and I gotta ask you this because you sit next to Conspiracy Duke, and I've been on.
I'll tell you the truth.
And I've been trolling the internet.
This nigga is retarded.
Got stuck again.
My bad.
He did his jack. He did his jack.
I got it up. My bad. Look, but no, on some real shit though. Like, I was gonna ask you, like, do you fit? Like, was it a situation where the oath was presented to you to go to that next level?
Nah, it wasn't even that. I'm gonna tell you what it is, point blank.
Here we go.
I'm a grown man. I was a grown man when I got into the industry. Wikipedia is wrong. Go do your research. If you really want to know what people's facts are, go get the facts. I'm grown. I just turned 37. 37. So understand, I'm grown. I was grown when I came into the game.
Absolutely.
So they started asking me to do stuff that I just absolutely thought was against my beliefs, my morals, my values, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. Nah, man, you said y'all not allowed to do that, man.
Yeah.
And, okay, you passed some lighter. I behind my back. I didn't know what was going on. Yeah, but listen. But no, it was basically, I started saying no to the stuff that the skirt wearers and the people that just want to do whatever it is.
Right.
They'll put on makeup, they'll wear the dress, they'll do whatever it is to be famous. I was famous before I was famous.
Okay.
So I was saying no to things. They was like, you should be saying yes. Why should I be saying yes? I'm a man first.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm allowed to say no.
Okay.
But listen, Jay Holiday, you don't even know what you're doing for Duke's confidence.
How many times I told you
better say no? No means no.
You just really validated.
Yeah, you validated. Yeah.
That's all.
But
Continue.
I gotta ask you this, Jay. Like, I want to ask you, like, were you one of those kids like that you knew from the beginning that this is what you wanted to do, or was it something that you grew into?
I kind of knew, but I didn't know. I was singing, and I knew that the singing could get the girls when I was young, like 9, 10. I was like, oh, I could get the girls with this.
Right.
But then I got older, and you start doing your research, and you start doing your studying. Because guess what? For this industry, for any industry, just to be sitting up here on this table, y'all had to do y'all research on how to make this happen. So I started doing my research, and I was like, I think I could hang with them.
Right.
Hang with them, not beat them, but like I could fight my fight with them. You know what I'm saying? So I did it. I was accepted to Morehouse. I was accepted to Clark, and I decided not to go to school to still end up in Atlanta. So God's plan is God's plan. It is what it is, man.
Absolutely, man. So, like, you know, when you decided to do this, did you have full support, or was it like, nah, you need to go do this, you need to go do that, or did you have a full support system?
For people that don't know, my mom is a preacher. I'm a PK, and my mom was absolutely against it, man. She was, I come from DC, so I got approached to singing go-go bands and all kind of stuff, and she was just like, no. Whenever you finish your last day of high school, you can do whatever you want to do.
Okay.
And you can be whatever you want to be.
Okay.
But what you're going to have is that high school diploma. What you're going to have is a ticket to be able to walk into college whenever you want to. Years later, if you want to, I can go back to college right now.
Right, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, she just wanted to make sure that I finished that fight
Yeah, right.
before I started this fight. So.
She did right too.
Okay. Yeah, she did. Right.
Love you,
My
Mom.
bad, I ain't make everybody all church.
We love you, Mom.
So just to piggyback off of that, as a PK, did you feel like you could sing certain records? You had to kind of not dumb it down, but like there's certain pleasures and certain.
Okay, so my mom died. I mean, my dad died when I was 11, and my mom was the preacher. So my dad died in the years that I'm going into all the shit that I want to know.
Right.
The girls, somebody want to fight you, what you do, and all that. You know what I'm saying? So I went from I can't tell moms. I can't even ask mom. She gonna say pray about it. It's real, you know what I mean? She gonna say pray about it. You know what I mean? And I wasn't trying to hear that. I can't pray in front of them. They like, what's up, little nigga? And I'm like, hold on. Lord, help me. You know what I'm saying? Right. I can't stop in the middle of that. So I had to go to the streets, what we call the streets, the hood, the block, you know what I mean? And what's weird is the block didn't let me get in trouble.
Yeah.
They say, yo,
You gotta tell it.
what we not about to let happen is you get in trouble and your mom come over here. Don't preaching to us. We not trying to hear that, so we gonna keep you out of trouble. But they taught me everything that I needed to know. So
Yeah, that's all. Now, and being from DC, like when you was growing up, DC was
Chocolate
always
City.
in the top 3 of the murder capital of the world.
try to tell them.
You know what I mean? I remember that shit. My family is from Baltimore and DC.
Baltimore.
All my family is from up there. And so, like growing up in DC, did you grow up in the rough side? Did you grow up in the...
Man, I grew up all over, man. I went to 3 different high schools. My mom just wasn't having it. She said, I see trouble. No.
Every time.
Okay.
We was school.
You know what I'm saying? So now that I'm older, they probably like, yo, that nigga been running all his life. You know what I mean? But I'm like, nah, it was mom's. She saw something better, you know what I mean? And so I grew up in the DMV. I grew up in Woodbridge, Del City. I grew up in Southeast DC. I grew up in Suitland, Maryland, which is like right next to Oxon Hill. I mean, I know it all. I literally lived in the DMV. When people say DMV, they're either from one, this or that.
DC,
I've
Maryland,
actually
Virginia.
lived in all 3.
So let me ask you now, because that go-go sound in DC is like incredible, and like I'm not I don't listen to go-go, but when I go in the club and hear that, it just shit moves me. You know, what type of influence did that have on your music?
My live band. Like if you go see me at a show, obviously we don't play go-go music,
Right.
But the influence for me was you're at your biggest moment if you got a band behind you.
Right, absolutely.
You know, like we had Chuck Brown, we had EU, you know, doing the butt, we had Maya, Genuine. Shy went to Howard, Diddy went to Howard. Like, come on, like DC kind of. That's just if you don't got that band, you ain't made.
That's when you make. Yeah, that's when you.
You're not winning. You are not winning.
If you opening and the main act got a band, he's winning. But when you got your own
If
band,
the opener got a band, and you got something that sound like a band, you better pay a track that got a band on it.
you better pay the.
So Tad, what did it do to you?
What?
How did it move you?
The go-go music?
Yeah.
I mean, the shit just, first of all, when I go in the club, I'm not a dancer, okay? But when you hear that go-go music, like, it shit taps into some part of you. I can't explain it.
I didn't know you was into it like that.
I'm not. That's what I'm telling you, but you see it live. I'm just saying, what I'm saying is, it's almost like, okay, they say that, you know, and this is not to just go real deep, but they say that like when you listen to African music, it's the drums. The shit can touch your soul. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like Tupac's voice was one of those type of instruments. Right. Shit touch your soul.
Touch your soul.
Okay, so when go-go music, sometimes I've been in clubs and listen to the bands, like I would never listen to that shit in my car.
Right.
Not knocking it, but that ain't what I listen to. But when I'm in the club and I see that shit live, that shit touch me like it's like shit.
Do the round.
You understand what I'm saying?
No.
I ain't even talking about
I was like that about EDM until I was the one to raves.
and the shit touch you.
Yeah, so I could dig it.
Yeah, but that's because you was probably on ecstasy and a whole bunch of other shit. Oh, okay, my bad. Lil Will, you had a question?
Yeah.
My bad. I mean,
Hey,
nigga,
hey, how you doing? Hey.
A real R&B nigga.
No. You know what I'm saying? Respect my dude. You know what I'm saying? I had to. No.
you had the privilege.
I had the privilege of being out. You know what I'm saying? With this cat, I seen his grind. I seen his hustle. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen this cat in Texas. I seen this cat in New Orleans a couple of times. You know what I'm saying? Like back then. Like you know what I'm saying? And I just want to know what. You know what I'm saying, makes you wake up every day now that you say you're 37, what gives you that drive every day to wake up and still want to do this shit, seeing, you know, what's going on in the industry right now?
You know what? Hold on. Before you answer that, Lil Will, that's your second great question. Okay, last week
He came prepared. He came prepared.
Last week you had
Lil Will is an artist.
Nigga, you better not call on that no question.
Okay, go ahead, my bad.
C-ball.
Corey?
I got a whole
Dope stories, Willie, everybody was sorry.
What makes me wake up right now, so I'll take you even further back. I'll take you back like 2 years. 2 years ago, I was like, man, fuck this shit.
Okay.
On some real shit because it wasn't what I signed up for. And my manager tell me all the time, man, yeah, you know, this is what you signed up for, bro. Like, what's your problem?
Nah, you keep hitting on
And I'm like, no. And I'm really like, this isn't what I signed up for. What I mean was, I was sold this fairy tale.
Right.
For a person that really wanted to do it. I'm like, I want to be like Genuine. I want to be like Tank. I want to be as big as Maya. I want to, you know, Dave Chappelle, Mark Wayans, all of them. I want people to mention my city and my name too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, what wakes me up now is when you have things that just happen. And what's going on is if you even, that's why I said it's a deep question, because it's not just about music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you take it to gangbanging, music, whatever it is, you gotta have the big homies that's sitting there saying, bro,
And
you're tripping.
What's up?
right, and to reiterate, like, are there some things, you know what I'm saying, are there some things in your mind, you know what I'm saying, are there some things that you come up with in your mind, hold on, you know what I'm saying, that you be thinking about, well, damn, this may be blocking me, or that may be blocking me, or why is this not happening for me? And you really don't know for sure. Like, what are some of those things that, you know, are in your mind, and you like, damn, why these folk hating on me in the industry? You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Bro?
Yeah.
Like,
Honestly,
I think Lil Will
Right.
You
sound
like a testimony.
No. Honestly, man, I could sit there and I could place blame on everybody and anybody.
Right.
But at the end of the day,
Okay.
it's on me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I gotta
sir.
hold the mic. I gotta get on the stage. I gotta be in the forefront. I gotta do the post. I get the backlash. I gotta do all of that. So it's on me.
Yeah.
If I decide to do it with your best foot forward.
Yeah.
If you don't, then back out and don't say nothing.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's really on me, man. I don't. My blame game is over. You know, I done blamed enough people. I'm good on that. I'm straight. You know what I mean? You know, at this point, it's on me.
So let me ask you this, because like I said, you know, when you came in the game, you was on the cusp. The internet was just really starting to boom. Shit was starting to change. Like, how has the internet affected your career?
Honestly, man, I'm not an internet, social media person. I hate the shit.
Okay.
But you know, like I said, I have a great team. My team is like, this is what you need to do. This is what you not. They'll never tell me what to say.
Right.
But they'll be like, man, bro, you know, you ain't see this or you didn't see that, because they know me. If I feel a certain way, I'm gonna say something.
All right.
And I mean, it hurt and it helped. I love the fact that everybody doesn't have to be so worried about, do people like me anymore? Because now you can get on social media and you can have your own, your own crew, your own people, your own likes, your own followers.
Damn right.
But then the downfall to that is, when do the people that really know what's going on put the real shit out there and say, all right, take these likes, but only this far. Like, now when you start trying to hop over this line over here, it changes. And they take social media to the world, and it just doesn't translate like that. That's all. It's just, it doesn't happen like that.
So you know, back to traditional branding, bro. Traditional marketing promotion. You know what I'm saying? Street
the
hustle.
guerrilla mode, grassroots.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you know,
We'll do advance for that.
things change. Times
Ain't nobody
change.
walking around with the stapler and the joint no more,
Yeah,
man.
times change. But you know,
They should, but
I do want to ask you this, you know, because we have a lot of artists that come to, you know, this platform, and
Shaq.
my bad.
I'm sick of M2K or what the fuck it is. I'm gonna shoot this nigga.
What just happened? Hey, look. Also, I saw this shit. The shit freaked me out. I'm telling y'all, like, y'all tripping though. That shit funny to me, but it ain't though. But I always ask the artists that come on this. You know, you were blessed with a talent, but within this industry, there is a gift and a curse.
Yeah.
What's your gift and what's your curse?
Man, my gift, obviously, man, is just, I used to be one of the shyest people in the world, bro. And I went to this program at James Madison University, and after that program,
James
went
Madison.
to high school, and from there it was Rap City. And I don't know, man, my curse is just, I'm private. I don't care about the thing. You know what I mean? Like he said, like it's more about passion for me. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole King conversation, the person I looked up to the most never got mentioned in that conversation.
Okay.
But guess what? That's why y'all get from me what y'all get, because I looked up to him. You know what I'm saying? So that's my king.
All right.
At
And
the end
who
of
is
the day,
this?
that's Marvin Gaye.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And you got people that be like, man, Marvin Gaye was a
Man.
everybody's opinion was their opinion, and it is what it is. But the curse is just, like he said, man, the passion is just, when you're passionate about something, like boxers hate to lose. And I'm a big fan of boxing. One-on-one is me and the opponent, and that's it. And no one wants to lose. No one. Even when you fought your best fight and you lose, that's the hardest part about it, is I fought my best fight and I still lost. How did this happen? Guess what? You gotta take another fight.
You want prayer.
You gotta take another fight. You gotta train harder. You gotta get back into the gym. You gotta do what you gotta do and come back out and knock these niggas out.
Absolutely. I gotta say this now, because I mean, what's up with the guap? Like I noticed you put it down. You didn't smoke this since the first break.
I'm trying to hide behind the cup and everything. They're not gonna get this on camera.
Seeing shit, you know.
He's sorry.
No.
Hey, Jay, let me see your slide right quick. I know you said, you were talking about how all the babies get made to your music. You got kids?
I got 6.
Okay.
Me too.
Okay.
I mean,
Six.
Me too.
6, Jay.
Everybody,
You all-
everybody got
you all-
6 or better.
why you put them in the bed for real? Like,
Just two.
got 6
Nah,
they ain't put them in the bed.
That's what it is.
So with that being said, let me ask
And I
you.
love my kids.
So let me ask you this. With that being said, with that being said, like,
Damn, they like the nigga that sing about fucking, they ain't supposed to have kids. I don't understand.
And I'm talking about he came out to us.
Gorgeous kids.
and look,
I got a six-pack. Don't worry about
and that's what I was gonna ask you.
the whole
Like, did you have kids prior to putting out music?
Yeah, my oldest, man, she actually just had a recital on Sunday, man, and she's 13. And she like the next Misty Copeland, man, so.
I don't even know who that is.
Hey, boy, yes you do. You know.
I'm gonna look it up.
No, you could be like, oh, man, that's Misty
Misty
Copeland.
Cole, that's
But
Misty
no,
Cole.
so, you know what I mean, like, it's a balance, man. And they want you to die for this shit. And I would.
I die for this shit.
I've spent so much time away from my kids, still trying to prove myself. Trying to prove that I'm worth being here. Like, you're not voting me off the island. This ain't survival. I'm gonna survive. I'm good.
Right.
I'm good.
No, you can work. No, you can work. No, you can eat.
So I want to say this, Jay Holiday, man. Like, Smoking and Joking is a platform for new artists that's been in the game for a while, you know. And when you come with that new look, I need you back, man. Like, you know, like.
You can check out 25 to Life. It's out right now. That's like the test the teaser to see what people's ears at.
25 to Life.
It's called 25 to Life. It's off the new album Time that will be out next year.
So what can we dig in? Let's dig into 25 to Life. What is that talking about? Like, because when I hear you say that, I don't know if it's 25 to Life, like you signed that benefit contract for 25 years, or I don't know what's going on. Oh, my bad. Luke said stop. Luke said stop. Okay.
Oh, nah, I was good. I was going to add some and everything.
Luke said stop. Luke said stop. He don't want me to go too far because he don't want nobody to get hurt. But,
You go, Gary.
No. Hey, hold on. To answer real quick. 25 to Life is basically this, man. It's anything. So for me, it's my music. I've missed out on a lot of personal life for music. Trying to be an artist for the people, you know what I'm saying? So 25 to Life is basically, this music thing sometimes feels like a prison.
All right.
You understand what I'm saying? And they tell you what to do, how to do it. And if you don't, we're going to put you in the hole.
So basically, if you don't wear that dress, it's only the amount of, you can only be
It's
so
a matter
big.
of time, bro.
You can only be so big.
You can only be so big.
That's what I asked earlier, bro.
You're not gonna run the prison if you don't get out there and do all that. And just for me, it's like now I'm back to do that time, and I'm deeper in the yard. What's up?
Deeper in the yard. So look, the candy lady. So look, I want to say this: the candy lady. And first of all, I don't even want to go into her edibles, but you're gonna get some of those as well. But she has a question.
Which part of the edibles,
candy
though?
lady? The candy.
There's
lady.
different types.
All right, being that you said that, right? So do you think the way people are getting they shine off in music now with social media can actually like stop what the upper heads, like how they used to do, like back in the day when you go through a record label, they supply everything. But now you can be your own, you know, individual with your music, because you can do iTunes, you can do Spotify, you can do all of that, YouTube. So with the views that you can get now and how you can broaden your horizon now with music, you probably wouldn't even need that anymore, do you think so? As far as just, you know, just money to invest in yourself to brand out.
There's so many different ways you can do it. As an independent artist now that's also dealt with major labels, I was on a label with Garth Brooks, and the label that also had Whitney Houston's Bodyguard soundtrack at one point in time. So I feel like what you do, like physically, you have to have the merchandise. You gotta like, okay, we don't do CDs no more, let's figure something else out that can be physical for people to hold and touch. You know what I mean? Something that you can have and be like, oh, your kids are going through it 20 years later and it's, oh, what's this, mom, or what's this, dad, and it's, you ain't gonna be, like, these phones ain't gonna work 20 years, what you gonna show them?
Yeah.
What you gonna show them? We don't know if you're gonna be able to transfer, you don't know if you cracked your screen and couldn't get back in your phone, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, can you change it? Should you change it? I don't know. It's just, you have to change with the times, but we cannot forget what it is that makes us us, and it's people having a tangible part of us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whether it's a t-shirt, whether it's a hoodie, whether it's a
Autograph.
or a picture, you know. Country music don't go through this. They're not sitting here trying to figure out who the biggest country artist is right now because they don't give a fuck.
They like what they like.
They don't care. Guess what? They like, if they beefing, they gonna come do the show and they done fought backstage and they gonna pop a bottle of champagne at 2 o'clock in the morning like, oh man, that's crazy as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, we too busy talking on some, oh no, like mine, no, like mine, no, like mine, no, like mine. Like,
Can't do that.
we back on the fucking plantation. What the fuck?
It's different types of niggas.
Come on, man.
There it is. J. Holiday finna go there. Let's do it,
Plantation.
Let's do it.
It's different types of niggas.
I want to say this. I want to say this though. Like, you know, We truly appreciate
Support your black businesses, like you said earlier. My bad.
We truly appreciate you for coming through and rocking with us. And like I said, you have a platform here. When 25 to Life drops, we expect for you to come back and rock with us. You know what I mean?
Man, thanks for being real,
and thanks for really, truly giving your opinion on these things. Because I be cracking jokes, but it's only because I'm really trying to figure this shit out. You see what I'm saying? Like Conspiracy Duke over there be hitting me with this shit all
every day, y'all.
I ain't trying to put him on blast because I don't want that to happen to my brother. You know what I mean? I started looking at shit.
Let me tell y'all something. Y'all do anything that any one of these brothers up here, but hey, y'all not gonna like it. Y'all not gonna like what's gonna happen later.
But like I'm saying though, Jay,
like it.
we truly appreciate you for coming through and rocking with us, man. So if you could, man, let the folks know where they can find you. Give us a quick drop and get us out of here with "We Smokin'," and we'll do the rest. You know what I'm saying? Get us out of here, Jay.
Man, I go by the name of Jay Holiday.
He is the man.
Like they said, man, support your black businesses, support your black entertainment, music, actors, actresses, support it all. I appreciate that, man. We are all kings and queens regardless. You understand what I'm saying? But right now, I'm in love with Mary J. She's my main thing. She makes me feel alright. She makes my heart sing. And when I'm feeling low, she comes with no surprise. Fills me up with her love and takes me to paradise. Mary Jane, and we smoking and joking.
And I'm a king, yeah. Oh. 25 life, just like me.
Keep it going, bro. Hey, I'll give it up for Jay Holiday, man.
I love to smoke a lot, never see me now. Up in the sky I go, call up everyone I know.